Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna be watching it's a reaction. We're gonna be reacting to Getting Lost in the Camp Geronimo. So this is made by ODDBALLS, so let's see.
If you haven't read Lord of the Flies, you're probably gonna have to in school one day.
I have never read that book in my life.
Give you an abridged version for when that time eventually comes. The Lord of the Flies is a book about a bunch of little British boys who got—
Bro, look at their faces! Fam, that man looks like that one guy from that one TV show. That man looks like he's rich. And he looks like a troll face.
marooned on a deserted island, and the book tells the story about what the boys do to survive the elements, but also themselves.
Hey, they're dancing around.
Like a week on the island, the boys devolve into complete savages, covering—
What the? Yo, hold on. Sorry for replaying it, but what was that?
Savages, cover—
Yo! Ligma! Yo, you know what that means? Ligma!
covering themselves in face paint and killing a—
What in the world?
pig.
Yo, I was finna wait. Yo, we better blur that out. I don't allow that on my
I said too much. And when I read the book in high school, I thought having the boys turn savage so—
Bro. Dang, fam.
Right.
quickly wasn't all that accurate. As a former young boy myself, I was insulted.
Fam. There's no way you're in a daycare and you're like 34 years old.
That William Golding thought that us little boys were so heartless. But then I
Great Cats by Grape of Wraths.
remembered all the things that happened at my scout camp, Camp Geronimo, and I realized that Lord of the Flies is still inaccurate. The boys would have gone savage way faster. Listen, I'm a cautious person when I'm hanging around the guys.
How do you get in prison?
In PE, the other boys would be playing this game called Quarters, where you would fling quarters at people's knuckles until they bled. But I wouldn't play that game because it's dangerous and I'm a loser. Or when I—
You're at a birthday party, man? Is that your mom, dad?
at a party and someone wanted
to watch the Oddball show.
To play the knife game to show off how good their hand-eye coordination was, I wouldn't play that game either because I needed my hands to draw.
I need my hands to record videos and also do other things like chores.
But something about being with the guys in the—
There's no way. There's no way you hang around him. Nah, I'm playing. You can hang out whoever you want to, as long as they don't get you in trouble.
Middle of the woods? I would live on the edge. Every summer, our troop stayed at this camp called Camp Geronimo, named after the Apache Indian who was the first person to yell Geronimo while doing a sick backflip into his pool. One time, me and a couple other boys, I don't remember who started it, but we were playing with matches. And, okay, I know what you're thinking, but nothing bad happened.
You sure about that?
Okay, we just accidentally lit some dried bushes on fire and it got somewhat out of control. But it's okay, it's fine, okay?
How in the world do you do that?
Told the scoutmaster that there was a loose fire spreading faster than we could put it out, and everyone in the—
Oddball, you need to do something, bro. Go play video games. And maybe you wouldn't have done that.
Troop to stomp on it, and we never got in trouble. What were we doing?
Why are you sweating, my guy? Why are you sweating, my guy?
With the matches?
Yo.
Oh, we were just lighting them and throwing them at each other.
Yo!
Anyway, about 30 other scout troops
You're gonna burn to death.
Camp Geronimo, and we would spend a whole week sleeping in tents and earning merit badges. Most of the camp honestly felt like school, but outside. Like, when you got to the camp, you were given a schedule of classes, and for the next 7—
You look like me after getting all of history class. Man.
days, you would go to those classes and learn and fill out packets and sometimes even—
Bro, you're outside doing school on the summer? You're down bad.
Even have homework, which probably helped us not devolve into savages. I mean, sure, the classes weren't as boring as English or geometry. Geronimo's classes were wilderness survival, kayak.
I would stay in my tent for the whole camping trip, bro. Like, this one time, I almost died going onto a swimming trip. If I could draw, I would draw it, but I almost died. So, if I will tell you, I will draw an anime, if I can.
Or bear self-defense. Earning a merit badge required two things. The first thing, you had to write stuff down. Name and point out the major parts of a kayak. Kayak.
Bro.
Explain to your counselor the hazards you are most likely to encounter while participating in kayaking activities.
There's no way you have to learn a whole kayak. You know how to move a kayak, you just use the little pedal sticks. Bro, your camp, I am never going to.
Bears! And the second part of the merit badge, you had to actually go out and do stuff. Capsize the kayak, swim it and the paddle to the shore, and if you don't make it, the bears will get you.
Wow.
List of places we had to...
Did I just skip? Like, so much. I just skipped, like, so much. Oh my god. Alright, so, you see this? You have to go through this training while bears, I think they can't even swim in real life. Or can they? Because I don't think bears can swim. You have to go through training at this when you're like 8 years old? No. Or 24? Did you go to this camp like 10 years old? I don't even know, bro. You need to tell me when you have done this, because there's no way you have to go through this type of training.
will get you. I never got the kayaking merit badge. You had to be at least 12 to go to Geronimo.
12. That means anybody under the age of 12 can go there.
But you could go as an 11-year-old if a parent was coming with you. And at the time, my dad was a camp counselor. My birthday was May 14th, and Geronimo was at the end of May, so I barely made the cutoff as the youngest person going. Geronimo was a big step from spending 3 days at Cub Scout day camp to spending a week in the wilderness. What made it worse was I was going to be...
Wow. You were stuck with these people. They look like some school bullies from high school.
Spending a whole week with all the mean older...
Told you.
Scouts and my dad. There was this one scout named Paul. When I was 11, he was 15. So naturally he would pick on me and make fun of me.
15?
I get it. I'm small, so I suck. But silver lining, he got fatter, and a couple years ago, he reached out to me, and I had been doing the whole YouTube thing for a while. He was off starting his own business, and he wanted to do some business opportunity with me, and I just said, hey, do you want to do my merch? So now he works for me. So kids, if you ever have bullies, just become successful on YouTube and then hire them to sell plushies. He's actually a really good merch guy. He gets all my stuff into these retail stores. So if you see a Floof plushie at Hot Topic, you can say, thanks, Paul. Bullies really do make a difference.
Wow. Looks like I'm gonna have to get my school bully to sell me some merch.
Anyway, self-promotion aside, my first year at Geronimo, I was a little bit on the very young side compared to everyone else. I was taking a class called orienteering. The class taught us how to read maps and use a compass. And one day it was time for our class to go on a scavenger hunt thing. We were given a list of places we had to go to, and we were supposed to use our compass and count our paces to get to each specific location. Then when we got to our destination, there would be a marker somewhere, and we would have to write down what that marker was. There were 10 different markers that we had to find, and the course was supposed to lead us in a circle. The leader who was in charge of our group and the compass was an older scout named Paul. It wasn't the merch guy Paul, but I think
I was gonna say something.
it would be funnier if it was. Our group set off to the first location. Having a compass and counting your steps isn't the most accurate way of navigation, but we weren't allowed to use Google Maps, so When we got to the spot, we had to look around for a little bit to find the marker, but we eventually found it, and then we were off to the second location. This time, the marker was harder to find. The spot we landed on was pretty far from where the marker actually was.
My God.
At the third location, we couldn't find the marker. But we did see this reflective sign on a tree, and we figured that's what the marker was supposed to be, so we wrote it down. At this point, I decided to grab my own compass and give it a try. My compass pointed in a direction that was a little bit off from Paul's direction. Not by a whole lot, but just enough. But remember, I was the little kid. Nothing I said mattered. Paul said things to me like, "Oh, you don't know how to use a compass. I bet yours is broken. I'm never going to work for you one day." And you know what? I believed him. This guy is 15 years old. Do you know how wise and experienced he is? So we kept going and struggling. We used anything we found as a marker. Some piece of trash, it's a marker. Hey, this tree has an A and an M carved into a heart. Kind of weird that it's at an all-boys camp. Do you think that it's a marker? Eventually, we all had to admit that we were completely lost. The other boys told Paul to hand over his compass, and Paul reached into his pocket, pulled out his compass, and 2 buzz magnets. Buzz magnets are magnets that are shaped like a bullet, and you can throw them up in the air and they make this cool buzzing sound. They sold them at the camp store, so that's why Paul had them. And everyone immediately figured out why we were lost. For those of you who don't know how compasses and magnets work, I don't know either. I think it has something.
Compasses and magnets work because compasses. Okay, you do obviously not understand. Compasses and magnets are basically the same thing. See, when the compass detects any type of metal or any type of I should say like any like plastic or metal or probably wood, I would say for that matter, it would actually attract to that. So no wonder why you're probably lost, because the magnets in his pocket is probably where the compass was leading. So it's probably pointing directly at him. That's why.
Something to do with them coming from outer space. A compass is supposed to point to the magnetic North Pole, and a magnet will mess up the
Told you.
direction a compass is supposed to point in. Paul's compass wasn't pointing to his pants the whole time. We would have been suspicious if that had happened. But because his compass was right next to a magnet, it got uncalibrated, and then we all got lost in the woods and died. And that's why I don't have an orienteering merit badge. I was upset because my compass probably wasn't broken, but I didn't stand up for myself. Because I don't do that. I have more Camp Geronimo stories, like the time me and my friend threw a Ziploc bag full of water at the older kids' lean-to, and then I ran away so fast that I threw up. But
Oh my god. Yo, is that the alligator from the ODDBALLS show?
I already did a video about that, and it's 5 years old, and it's very bad, and you're not allowed to watch it. So the moral of this video is, just because you're young doesn't mean you're stupid. But it does mean you make bad videos on YouTube.
Hey! I make good videos, right guys? Right?
Also, check your pockets before going orienteering. Going orienteering. Sounds like a tongue twister. Going orienteering. Going orienteering. Going orienteering.
Shut up.
Well, that was my Camp Geronimo experience. It was a lot of fun.
Look at this.
I wonder if the camps are open right now, if people would have to be quarantined inside the tents the whole time. I bet that would be pretty intense. As you've seen on the news, a lot of events are getting canceled or postponed, which include my events. So if you want to see updates to the events I'm going to, then follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because that's where I'm going to be posting updates.
You heard the man. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram.
A lot of events have been postponed until further notice, so we just have to wait and see when everything dies down and we can go outside again. As always, huge shout out to my awesome team for working on this video, especially considering how crazy the world has been recently. Everyone has pulled together and all worked on this video from home, which is pretty normal, actually, for us. On that note, we're all in this together, we'll get through this, and wash your hands.
So, yes, that was the reaction to...
I can't take it anymore.
Rage Sad Illusions. Anyways, that was the reaction to ODDBALLS, whatever. I forgot.